Welcome back to the Flower of the Magic Fern. My name is Tania Andrushko, and in video part 1 we discovered what all of this magical creation is about. The world's first ever Ukrainian Tarot deck, Flower of the Magic Fern. In the video part 2 we will actually go deeper and dive into all of the magical synchronicities of the journey for the past 11 months. So if you're ready, let's go. So exactly on February 22nd, 2022, I was sitting on the beach in Costa Rica under pure Vida sky, creating the Earth Mandala, the ritual that I usually do when I travel. As I gathered all of the elements and started speaking the wishes, which usually ask for prosperity, for guidance and support, the word that came from me was peace and love for humanity. Somewhere on a very much deeper level, my soul knew that this is exactly what was needed. I shared this strange encounter with my husband, and 2 days later, only less than 48 hours later, once we landed back to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where we lived the past decade, my native city, Ivano-Frankivsk in Ukraine, was bombed. The year that have followed was full of grief, transformation, and recovery. The war in Ukraine really ignited my love for traditions, the legends, the stories, the spirituality and the heritage that my childhood was blessed in. So you're probably wondering how all of it has started. I'm here to share. So one day I drop off my kid Marta to her gymnastic and I heard the voice, Tanya, you will inspire humanity to expand in love and peace, and you will do so by launching first ever Ukrainian Tarot deck. And honestly, I'd love to say that, I said yes and moved on. No, it wasn't that. I actually had my talk with Spirit and I said, hey, why me? Why me? I'm not the painter. I'm not the artist. English is not my first language. Why me? But the message was really clear that this is about to happen and you're the one to bring this light being to life to this world. When I had this argument and I asked, why me, like I'm not the artist, the name of the artist dropped in and I'm like, oh my goodness, I know she will be perfect. So I called her and she didn't answer. And I was like, hey, she didn't answer. This is the best because it's easier to say no by phone or through the messages. So I left her a message. A day later, she called me back and she said, Tanya, I'm not necessarily believe in tarot cards, but there is a very loud yes to this project. So let's talk. And then my brain started spinning and quickly thinking how and what and why and who I can add to the support so we can actually create. And one day I knew you will be holding this magical deck in your hands. The richness of Ukrainian culture is vast. It was super challenging to fit everything that I really wanted to share in only 78 card deck, 78 legends. Yet my soul and my heart was divinely guided, and the voice of Spirit was very clear what was meant to be important and to share. In the creation of this deck, I cried and I laughed and I struggled and I danced with joy and I found my Flower of the Magic Fern, and my hope for you is that this deck will help you to find yours. One day, my dear friend Stephanie was visiting me, and at that moment we were actually working on this card, Flower of the Magic Fern, the Fool. And we really didn't see this. My artists were getting frustrated. I was getting cranky. I'm like, this is not it. This is not it. I see it's a fire. I see it's a light. Whatever they were painting, it was a no. And then when my friend Steph visited me, she said, Tanya, I actually visioned this pressed flower. And I was very honest. And I was like, no, Stephanie, there is no pressed flowers. I'm not adding anything to this project. It's already lots on my plate. And as I said those words, I looked down and here on my table, I had this magical box where I, gather all of the sacred elements when I travel. And I've seen the pressed flower. And when I looked at it, I lost the press. I was like, oh my God. I took a picture and I sent it to my 2 artists. And all I asked was like, hey, does it look to you as a Flower of the Magic Fern we were dreaming about and talking about? And both of them, they were like, Tanya, yes, that's exactly it. Why you didn't share it before? And at that moment, I actually got tears in my eyes. The tears were from the remembrance of the story of that flower. It was not just a random pressed flower. It was a story behind it. So, let me take you back to 2016 to Mexico, to Mayan pyramid. Me and my husband, we were traveling to celebrate our anniversary. And back then, I was not that deep into the magic yet. I was more so on the side of emotional intelligence and mindset and life coaching. And we had this beautiful excursion with like 100 million degrees outside. And once the excursion was over, I really felt the need to stay. So just picture me on the top of Mayan pyramid, wandering, not really knowing why. So I told my husband, hey honey bunny, I have no idea what I need. I don't know how long will I stay here. So you can go and wander and let me just be. The moment I closed my eyes, I visioned myself, just in peace. And shortly after, my darling husband brought me a flower, this exact flower, and he gave it to me. And it was so tender, so fragile, so sweet. And I was like, oh my God, this beautiful flower will not even make it to the hotel. It's super hot. We're 3 hours drive from the hotel. Not only the flower made it to the hotel, this beautiful magical flower made the whole way through back to Canada and was patiently waiting for almost 5 years in a box with sacred elements to be revealed. And I'm getting my tears because when I've seen the flower, the thought that came to me was like, oh my God, Tania, you were so caught up in the searching and looking for it that you completely forgot that you already have it. And it struck me through my heart, because how often in our life we're looking for enlightenment, we're looking for the answers, we're looking for gurus and guides, and yet all of the answers are inside of us. There is a magic in natural world. Magic is not something poltergeist or not something that only some people can feel. Magic is in natural world, in day-to-day life, in everything that you do. In this technology age, it's so easy to be caught up in social media or business of life that we actually forget to pay attention. And if you expect the wonder, the only thing that I'm asking you to be is to be present. My intention for you is, with this deck, to come back to the roots of understanding how Spirit talks to us through everything. Through the beautiful lullaby that mother sings to the child, through the beautiful flowers, or through the magical song of the birds that they whisper in the morning, or maybe through that beautiful morning coffee. Magic is everywhere, and magic is real. And I will show it to you and prove it to you in all of the next videos from here and forever. Stay tuned, follow this channel, and hit the notification button, because you will want to know everything above and beyond. I promise there are lots of magic.